Well guys, last week the series DC Crime was announced, the series about Jimmy Olsen in the DCU, but James Gunn already came in and debunked a detail regarding the show. Plus, a new rumor points to a mysterious female character in the upcoming Superman movie, Man of Tomorrow, and with that, a bunch of possibilities have emerged. Some people are speculating about Wonder Woman in Man of Tomorrow, but is that really the case? Hold up, let's discuss this right now. Recently, we got confirmation from major sites that Jimmy Olsen's series will focus on the villains in the DC universe, specifically in the DCU, where Gorilla Grodd would have a significant role. This series was originally titled DC Crime, and thinking about it, that name makes sense, considering the theme would involve a true crime vibe in the DC universe. However, according to James Gunn, that's not the name the series will have. He doesn't get why people are calling it that. This info came straight from Gunn in the response on Twitter to Deadline, where he emphasized that he really didn't understand who spread the information about the series' name, but he made it clear about the details involving Jimmy Olsen, the possibility of Gorilla Grodd, and everything else. Those details are indeed correct. It's just the name of the series that's wrong. So there's a big question: what will the series be called? I know some might think this is irrelevant, but the name could give us more clues about the show. I don't think the series will just be called Jimmy Olsen. I could be wrong, but I don't feel like that name would grab the attention of the general audience. What if suddenly this TV show was called Daily Planet? Now that I could get behind, and honestly, I'm rooting for that to be the actual name of the show, or at least something equally good. Although the series seems to initially connect only to Superman's world, I think it opens up the chance to introduce characters from other areas, evidenced by Gorilla Grodd's inclusion. Sure, it's odd to see Gorilla Grodd pop up before we even see the Flash, which is a way to hint at what's going on in the Speedster realm of DC, maybe introducing the Speed Force or something related. And that's just talking about the Flash. You could also explore other universes like Wonder Woman and Batman's. Not saying Batman and Wonder Woman need to be in the series, but just with Gorilla Grodd there, it's possible we could see other villains from Batman or Wonder Woman or another big hero from DC. In the end, I think it's valid to get priority to other parts of DC, like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, so we don't get stuck in just one area. However, I see this series as a way to expand Superman's universe, have a little connection to Man of Tomorrow, while also starting to touch on other areas. So about the Jimmy Olsen series, that's it people. DC Crime isn't the name of the series, but everything else is real. James Gunn hasn't dismissed the possibility of Brainiac in Man of Tomorrow. And speaking of Brainiac, James Gunn also posted a pretty enigmatic image on his threads. This image was even liked by the official DC account. It doesn't seem to reveal anything specific, but could it be a hint about Brainiac? It could be, because when I searched for this image, Google returned that it's a colorful and detailed response of brain cells, specifically neurons and their connections. And once again, we have a brain-related clue. At this point, it's more than obvious it's about Brainiac, since James Gunn didn't deny Brainiac after the article from The Wrap. He just didn't comment on it. Additionally, people asked if we would have any news about The Batman Part 2 this year. Gunn said no, the movie is set for 2027, but we won't have any new information this year. So unfortunately, news about the cast of The Batman Part 2 won't come this year. We'll have to wait a bit longer. Now moving on to the rumors, Daniel RPK, a source has been accurate about Superman rumors before, highlighted that there will be interviews with actresses for a very important role in the movie. They're looking for an actress around 20 years old. And that's where the speculation kicked off which female character could fit into this rumor. Remember, it's still a rumor, nothing confirmed. This source usually gets it right, so we should pay attention. Who could this character be that this actress will portray? Of course, the first possibility that people started talking about was Wonder Woman. But guys, I think it's super unlikely that Wonder Woman will be in this film. Even if it's a big role, I can't see someone in their 20s being Wonder Woman. I wouldn't bet on that. Moreover, even in a significant role, I don't see where Wonder Woman would fit into this plot. But if you think the possibilities have run out, hang tight, there's more. Because in addition to the rumor from Daniel RPK, Nexus Point also published a piece discussing this rumor, highlighting that it might actually be Wonder Woman. According to Nexus Point, sources indicated that a new heroine is being cast for the movie, described as a woman in her 20s and having an edge to her. This raises interpretations about whether the character will be more rebellious or aggressive. Now, at first, this might not seem like a big deal, but it definitely opens up possibilities for different nuances. Additionally, there's a height requirement for the character and they're looking for taller actresses. She's described as a warrior with a strong physique. All these details point to Wonder Woman since she's a character that fans are really eager to see make her debut in the DC Universe. However, other potential candidates for this role could be Big Barda or Black Canary. So folks, once again, it's good to emphasize that we're talking about a solid source. Nexus Point has been pretty accurate with the rumors coming out of DC Studios. They recently reported that Brainiac, or Mongol, would be the villain in Man of Tomorrow, and shortly after, The Wrap, which is another reliable source, confirmed it's Brainiac. Up to this point, James Gunn hasn't denied any of this information. He's just been dropping hints that relate to Brainiac, as you just saw, and only denied the rumor about the name of the Jimmy Olsen series, and also old rumors from before he took over at DC Studios about projects involving Dr. Fate. Now, regarding Wonder Woman, the insider from Nexus Point, Apocalypse Horseman, who wrote this piece, pointed out on Twitter that even though he mentioned Wonder Woman, it shouldn't be taken as a certainty. The details do seem to direct towards Wonder Woman, but they also fit other characters like Big Barda or Starfire. Unlike Brainiac, which Apocalypse said he was 99% sure about, he doesn't provide that high a margin of certainty here. What he clearly states is, hey, don't take this too seriously, it's a possibility but not a certainty. Big Barda is actually an excellent option in my opinion, since she's an aggressive and rebellious character, so she fits well with this description. Then there's another tall character who could rival Superman, and that's Maxima, because she has a certain rebelliousness, so she could fit the character description too. Besides her, we could also consider other Amazons like Artemis, who would also vibe with that rebellious style. Another possibility is Starfire, who has appeared in the Creature Commandos animated series and also has a touch of rebellion in her personality. We've got several options that fit this description. Instead of focusing solely on Wonder Woman, it might make more sense to bring out the female characters who have relevance in the DC Universe, considering the broader context. Apocalypse Horseman even mentioned Black Canary, but would she fit the bill as a tall character? I'm not so sure about that. Still, Big Barda, Artemis, Starfire, and Maxima are definitely valid options. Among all the options I discussed in this video, which character do you want Move to see in Man of Tomorrow? Also, what name do you prefer for Jimmy Olsen series? Comment down below, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell because that's the only way to stay informed about everything happening in DC. Thanks for being here, and for those of you who stuck around to the end of the video and might still be behind on the latest news, click on this playlist that's popping up on the screen and get updated on what's going on.